head. I was like, go is action.
Action. Hi, I'm Cassidy. I'm addicted to movies.
In a world where wise presentations are about filmmaking, Cassidy McKenna becomes unprecedented in the world's most famous film. A Wise Project by Cassidy McKenna. Alright, so Cassidy. She loves movies. She loves movies.
It's kind of her life. Like, she's the definition of, like, a film geek, which we love her for.
It's something that she's constantly talking about, and I love it. It's like, you could just tell that it's a big part of her life, and, you know, everyone has that one thing, and, like, for her, it's definitely film industry movies, and I like it. It's awesome.
I mean, it was kind of a known fact, like, beforehand. Like, before I met her, I kind of knew that, like, that she liked movies, you know? So going into it, I knew it. I met her through Stagecraft, too, so, like, and also...
Me.
Maybe. Not really, but... I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I already, like... It's kind of like a basic fact. Like, if you know who Cassie McKenna is, you know she likes to make movies. So.
I feel like I'm interviewing you.
Why do I love movies? Why do I love movies? Why do you love breathing? Kind of just, it's natural. You love it because it's convenient. You love it so you don't die. That's how I feel about movies. It's kind of just what my life is. It's so normal to me. And normal in a good way. You know, the way I go about my life and my day is just, you know, I kind of just, I'm like, oh, this could be cool. This could be a cool shot. You know, this place would be a cool set. The amount of times I've said that to my friends, I'm like, yo, this would be such a cool, like, place to film. I don't know, I see places and I see them as an opportunity for a really cool story.
She has a very unique perspective on how she views things and how she just perceives things that happen in the world around her. And I think that's why everything I watch of hers, everything that she has filmed and directed, that's why I find it so interesting and why she's so good at it, because she really puts herself in those situations. Like, they could be the wildest situations that she can come up with, but she finds out a way to make it real, and she finds out a way to show the many different perspectives she has on one situation and show the audience that through her filmmaking. And I think that because she has such a unique outlook on life, it really does make her good at what she does.
Her personality itself is very unique because I feel like it draws little things from all the stuff she loves and like all the movies she's seen growing up and like watching all her life have like sort of formed who she is, because she takes so much inspiration from all of that and like makes it her own, kinda. And I feel like it's had a very big impact on her.
Alright, back to fighting. Robert grabbed the bat. Camera's rolling. Sound.
You gotta pee.
Don't tell her that because she'll drive somewhere to pee.
We literally could drive somewhere to pee. If anybody's down to drive somewhere to pee. Yeah, that's true. Alright, ready?
Wait, again?
Yeah. Sound? Alright. Alright, and action. You know, I feel like I'm not as smart as other people, but when it comes to movies and film, it makes me feel like a fucking genius. I feel it gives me confidence in some weird way. It's the only thing in life that I'm good at. You know, I can't imagine myself doing anything else. You know, most kids, they want to be a lawyer, a doctor, businessman, businesswoman. for me, it's just I want to make movies.
When I found out that Cassidy first wanted to go into the film industry and wanted to make movies, I wasn't surprised. Personally, I wasn't surprised, but I thought it was cool. I know she's going to do great things. You could just tell because she's a creative person and she's, you know, with her passion for it, like, she's going to go far.
My reaction to when I found out Cassidy wanted to make movies, honestly, you don't really know Cassidy without knowing that she loves filmmaking and she loves making movies. So I wasn't really surprised because just in everyday conversation, she usually talks about films. She talks about TV shows. She talks about making things and being creative, and those are some of the conversations that I love to have with Cassidy because she just comes up with things kind of randomly and she writes them down, and she'll see me in the hallway or she'll give me a text or whatever and she'll be like, hey Jenna, like, what do you think of this idea? I want to turn this into a movie, like, tell me your thoughts on like how I should do this. And those are some of my favorite conversations to have with Cassidy because her imagination is limitless. And I know that a great imagination plus her love of filmmaking is going to make sure that she goes far in this industry. So I would say Cassidy's love of movies is a part of her personality. Her personality complements her talents and her ability to come up with these ideas. And her personality is the reason why she's going to succeed.
Yeah. See, the thing about how I figured out I loved movies was actually I watched Jaws. And that movie. I remember crawling up on the couch with my dad, and I just see this guy on a boat. So on like the tip of the boat with a harpoon, and then another guy like steering the boat, and there's just a bunch of yellow barrels in the water, and I was like, Dad, what are you watching? And he goes, the greatest movie of all time. I was like, what is that? And he goes, it's Jaws. Have you ever seen it? And I was like, no. He goes, oh, you'll like it. It has sharks in it. I was like, okay. So I sit with him, watching the movie. The shark hasn't really shown up. I was really confused. I was like, where is the shark? Like, where the fuck is the shark? And, you know, towards the end, the shark just rips apart the boat, eats Quinn. Oh my god, that scene where he eats Quinn. I was tweaking. I, like, hid my face. I was like, oh my god. That exact scene, too, is the reason I don't go in the ocean. See, what makes that movie so good is that it made me scarred for life from the ocean. I hate the ocean. The only time I go in the ocean is like if I'm with a big group of people because the shark will get them first. I'm not taking chances. I do not want to get ripped apart like Quint. Yeah, though, I hate the ocean because of that movie. And it's done so well, too, because Jaws can come from nowhere. You know, you don't see him. You don't hear him for sure till he gets you. And that's, like, the scariest thing in the world. You know, being somewhere where you have no control. You are in its home. You are dinner. Yeah, I left that movie, you know, I watched that movie and I was like, I'm inspired. Like, I didn't really realize it at the time.
How has Cassidy loves for movies affected you and your friendship? Well, we can't watch movies with her because she doesn't stop talking about everything.
Cassidy moment that has to do with a film is when we went to see this Quentin Tarantino movie, and we sit down in the movie theater and she goes, you know something weird about Quentin Tarantino? And I was like, what? And she says, he's got a massive foot fetish. And I was like, what? And she said, yeah, you could see it in his work. You're gonna see a lot of feet. He's a weirdo, man. And I was like, okay. She really does know a lot of the weirdest, obscure things about filmmakers, about making films, about how to make films better and why filmmakers do what they do. And it really is amazing, honestly. It really is. It is super annoying to watch movies with Cassidy. If it's a movie that, especially one of those like classic movies that you know, like Predator or Alien or things like that, she pauses it literally every 2 seconds to give you like an in-depth analysis of how they made things work, how did they make things look realistic, why they filmed things the way that they did, literally anything. She just knows so many things about every single frame that happens in the movie, and she gives you an analysis on every single part.
It's definitely benefited me because, you know, like when we hang out or whatever, like she'll recommend these cool movies to watch that like I've never even heard of, and they're kind of out of my comfort zone, but at the same time I love them. Like they're always like super good movies. I don't think it's annoying to watch movies with Cassidy. I mean, like, you know, she's always like shouting out like, oh, like this part's sick, this part's sick.
Okay, though, like, hold on. Like, she's just chilling there. Everybody knows that the aliens are coming, and then he just pops up. Like, that's fire. Like, that's insane. Like, that's such a sick scene. Come on.
I think it's cool. I like it. I think it's funny. She's just, you could just tell that she really, really is passionate about it, and like, you know, it's fun.
You didn't call action.
When did I make my first movie? To be honest, it all started in the 2nd grade. I had Mrs. Pika as a teacher, and we were going to do this presentation about natural disasters. And she was like, we're going to make a movie. So my 8-year-old self, I heard that and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a blockbuster movie, like all these people, like all these characters, you know, they're going to like save the day. Meanwhile, we're putting pictures with titles into Windows Movie Maker and we're showing the class. That was about it. But the minute I got my hands on that computer and found all the images and imported them and edited them, like nobody in my group got to use the computer. I was the only one editing, and I felt like now I feel so bad, but I kind of don't because I was the only one who actually wanted to do it. But yeah, I was playing with transitions and all of this stuff, and I was really into it. I loved it so much that I went home and I begged my mom for I begged her for the Windows Movie Maker on the computer, and she was like, okay, fine. It was like free, so it was like super awesome, and I would just take family photos and, you know, pictures offline and just like edit them together because I thought it was really fun.
Can't we just go to the party?
Yeah, why are we here again?
Did you hear what my mom said when she dropped us off?
Yeah, she said not to come here, so...
Exactly, so we obviously have to go inside.
Hannah, I doubt it's actually haunted.
Did you hear how nervous she got when she found out that the party was on this street? Her face literally went pale.
No, yeah, she was so dramatic about it. She was all like, never, ever go to the house at the end of this street. It's
You
pretty
guys.
spot on.
It's haunted! You guys, I think I just heard something inside.
Oh my god, okay, we're leaving.
Oh, are you scared?
No, I just want to go to the party.
What about you, Allie? You seem pretty scared.
I'm not scared.
We're going in.
Hey, Hannah, not that I'm scared or anything, but your mom was really serious when she said not to come here, and I don't know, I don't want you to get in trouble with her. Do you hear that? What?
I heard it.
What is it?
Just shut up and listen.
Holy shit. Dude, I think it's a ghost.
I'm going in.
Hannah!
Oh, do you want to do it? I'm gonna find this fucking ghost. If you guys want to be pussies and stay here, then be my guest.
Cassidy makes film!
What movies are made for, and I don't think people really realize this anymore, is that it's meant to inspire people. Like, my favorite feeling, like, and it's still my favorite feeling, is leaving a movie theater and being like, I want to be like that character. Like, I remember leaving Iron Man for the first time. I saw Iron Man with my dad and my brother, and we left the theater, and all I could think about for the whole ride home and for like days was, I want to be like Tony Stark.
Warning, that girl knows her when it comes to Marvel. Unless you want to have a 5-hour conversation with her about everything that's ever happened in a Marvel movie ever, do not bring up Marvel.
And that movie opened up a whole window of just comic book obsession. I'm the biggest comic book nerd ever. I love comic books, and I love Marvel. And Marvel has a very big impact on my films. I love fighting scenes and, you know, heroes and supernatural powers and just, like, insane worlds. I mean, like, what I loved about Marvel so much is that they put you in the normal world. Like, in DC, you know, they have Metropolis and Gotham, like, they have all these other cities, but, you know, Spider-Man's in the heart of New York. Like, I kind of just, whenever I go to New York, I kind of expect him to go swinging by. It's, like, cool. Movies are just so cool. And action. When I was little, movies were like a huge escape for me. I have dyslexia and ADHD and dyscalculia, dysgraphia. You know, it makes it hard to be in school, and it hurts your confidence on a whole new level. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're definitely dumb. Having learning disabilities, it's weird because you know you're not stupid. You know you're not stupid, but at the same time, you feel like you're completely just nothing's upstairs.
I think her dyslexia, in a way, has taught her to do things her own way and figure out how to solve her issues, like I said. And she, like, has taken the set way to make films, and it evolved it into something that, like, she can use and works for her. And, like, she can pump out her ideas and, like, write creatively and just, like, get it all done.
You asking me this question?
Well, the thing is, when Cassidy writes a script, her dyslexia makes it a little difficult to understand.
That and her text.
yeah, her texts are also very cryptic. So I would say that affect. Other than that, like, I don't really think it affects her filmmaking.
Yeah, she sees autocorrect.
Yeah. Do you think Cassidy's dyslexia makes it hard to make movies?
Well, I mean, I feel like, at least for me, like, I don't know, I'm not like a movie maker, as you would say. But, like, for me, I feel like it would all be, like, mental. So I feel like it's a challenge, but at least her, like, she can definitely overcome it. You know, you don't notice it. You don't like, you won't see anything.
Facts. If Cassidy was to make a Hollywood movie, who would be the cast? Selena Gomez.
Ruby Rose, be in there somewhere.
Definitely. Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish, yeah.
Billie Eilish for sure.
That should be a cast.
That would be a cast. A cast and a half.
A cast and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our story.
It's a story.
I mean, that's Cassidy's story.
That's Cassidy. We don't judge her by her story.
Yeah.
You don't know anything
about
her
story. My story.
My story.
Okay. A Wise Project by Cassidy McKenna. Presented to you by the Avengers theme song.